Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of What's on the Menu. So this week we have some mini tortilla pizzas. The tortillas are normal size, but the pizzas are mini size. So super easy, super minimal ingredients, but you know me, I did add a few because I like to be fancy and extra. So if you've got these extra ingredients, you can use them, but if not, there's tons of ways you can make this. So we're just going to get started. So first thing you're going to need is some kind of baking sheet, baking tray, something you can put in the oven that's not going to melt or catch on fire. That's usually a pretty good rule of thumb. Then I'm going to be putting down some aluminum foil. If you don't have aluminum foil, you could use parchment paper. But like I talked about last week, don't use wax paper in the oven because it could melt. So I'm going to put some foil down just to help with, it makes it crispier a little bit. So I like to use that when I'm doing things like pizzas in the oven. But I forgot, if you haven't already, go wash your hands right now. Leave, go wash your hands, put some gloves on, and then come back and help, because that is rule number one. Wash your hands. All right, the second thing that I'm going to do after getting my baking sheet ready is preheat my oven. Okay, I want my oven to be preheated to 425 degrees. 425. That is the temperature you're going to need for this recipe. Then I've got cooking spray. If you don't have cooking spray, you can use olive oil. You could use coconut oil. You could use no oil. If you have parchment paper, you probably don't need oil. If you've got aluminum foil, you probably really don't need it. I'm going to do just a little bit, but it's a totally optional ingredient, okay? That's why you don't really need it, but it does help with a little bit of the crunch factor. Next thing you're going to do is grab any kind of tortilla that you have around the house. Could be flour, could be corn, could be a burrito shell, could be a little one like this. Totally whatever you guys have around, because they're all going to taste delicious, and it's a little bit healthier than having pizza dough, which has a ton of ingredients in it, where these little taco shells, first of all, they're way thinner. So it's a little bit of a healthier option as well. So next thing that you could do that is a couple different options. If you've taken my cooking class, we have made mini tortilla pizzas before, but we have taken a circle cookie cutter and basically cut out like the middle of this. So if this is our tortilla, we would literally cut out like the middle of it and like have a round cookie cutter, and then place those little discs inside of a muffin tin or something. So you could do that, but I wasn't counting on everyone having a perfectly sized circular cookie cutter. So today I'm just going to leave my tortilla whole. So I'm just going to put it directly down into my pan, and it should look like this. Okay. So if you've got a baking sheet, you can put a few on there. Like I can only fit one. But if you have a big baking sheet, you could definitely fit way more than one on there at a time. Now for the fun part, we're going to decorate and make this into a delicious pizza. So I have marinara sauce. You may not have marinara sauce. If you do, great. You could use canned tomatoes. Like if you've got a can of like diced tomatoes, you could use that. If you have pesto in your refrigerator right now, you could use that. If you have like a different kind of pasta sauce, like say you have some leftover Alfredo, you could make an Alfredo pizza. You can really get creative with this, okay? So I have marinara, so I'm going to take, really, there's not a lot of measuring in this recipe, which is also kind of a good thing if you're not into measuring. As much pizza sauce or sauce that you have, as much as you would like. Like if you are a person that loves a saucy pizza, then maybe you're going to add a little bit more. I'm not a huge sauce person. I don't like a lot of it, so I'm not going to add that much sauce. But this is a personal size pizza, so it's totally however much you want. All right. I'm going to leave a little bit of a border, just like a traditional pizza would have. So mine, I'll come a little closer and show you what I've got kind of going on here. So my pizza, tortilla pizza, looks like this. I'm going to try and show it to you without completely spilling the whole thing. Whoop, that's what it looks like. Okay. So I left a little bit of a border. Next is cheese. I don't know about you, but if I'm having a pizza, it's got to have cheese on it. Kind of a rule breaker or a deal breaker for me. You can use all kinds of cheese, though. You could use cheddar cheese, American cheese, pepper jack cheese, whatever kind of cheese you have. I'm using more of a traditional mozzarella, shredded mozzarella. So I'm going to go ahead and add that on top. And again, it's really however much you want, however much cheese you like on your pizza, whatever kind of cheese you like on your pizza. So there's a basic list of ingredients for this recipe, but then it's really about like, what do you like? What do you want to see? What do you want to eat? I like mozzarella. Then the last thing that I'm going to add, not last, I lied. I totally lied. I'm going to add some pepperonis. They're so cute. They're little mini pepperonis. Look at that. That's literally, this is literally the size. It's like not even bigger than my fingernail. So cute. So I'm going to add some mini pepperonis to my mini pizza. Obviously, I'm not expecting you guys to just like have mini pepperonis laying around, but if you got them, use them because I love pepperoni on my pizza and they're just really cute too. Above all else, they're adorable. All right, putting those on. This one's a snack. Really good. All right, that's a basic pizza. Tortilla, sauce, and cheese. I got a little fancy with my pepperoni. I'm also going to get a little bit fancy with my spices. You may not have these exact spices or even like them, but I'm sure that in everyone's home, you guys have a little spice cabinet. So go in there and see what kind of herbs and spices you want. I love oregano and crushed red pepper on mine. So I'm going to add a little bit of oregano and a little bit of crushed red pepper to the top of my pizza. Just because you know me, I'm feeling fancy as always. So I'm just going to add a little bit on top, a little oregano, and then just a little bit of crushed red pepper because I'm a spicy kind of person. So let's check in with my little list of directions here. Preheat your oven to 425. Pick a sauce that you like, could be any kind of sauce. Pick a cheese that you like, could be any kind of cheese. And then pick your toppings. I picked pepperoni, and then I added some oregano and crushed pepper. I think garlic might be, like garlic powder could be delicious. Basil could be really good. Get creative. Then it says bake for 5 to 7 minutes until bubbly. So that's what I'm going to do. My oven is almost done preheating, but I think I'm going to throw it in there a little early. Carefully doing this. I also forgot, I need to grab my oven mitt because safety. really, whenever you put something into the oven or take it out, you should be using an oven mitt. Why risk it? I don't want any burns on my hand, and I definitely don't want any burns on any of your hands. So yeah, this recipe is super easy. I mean, we're already done. Now we're just waiting for 5 to 7 minutes for this pizza to cook. It's so easy. It's like, why wouldn't you make this recipe? It's also delicious. Like, I don't know anybody that doesn't like pizza. So you could really make it whatever you want. Something that could be really fun is to turn this into a dessert pizza. So if you want my opinion or my ideas on it, here's how I would do it if I was going to make a dessert pizza right now. You can still use your tortilla shells, whatever you want, whatever kind of shell you got laying around. Then I might do like Nutella or maybe like some peanut butter or sunflower butter if that's what you have. Maybe like some marshmallows on top, crushed up Oreos or something. Now you won't want to put some stuff in the oven. Like if you're going to put marshmallows on top of your dessert pizza, you're probably going to want to watch them closely in the oven so they don't like puff up and explode. But you could get real creative. Some cinnamon sugar. Guys, the possibilities are endless with this snack. It's really whatever you have. Or I think like some good toppings would be some veggies. If you have like some peppers laying around, that could be delicious to put on top. Some onions. It's really like, how can I get more deliciousness onto my pizza? And then do that. So super versatile recipe. And it's going to take like no time at all. I've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to go check on it and see how the cheese is browning. Looking melty in there. So what you really want to look for is that the cheese is kind of like bubbling, because the tortilla is not really going to change color. If you were making a real traditional pizza, the dough would be super pale when you put it in the oven, and then when you took it out, it would be brown and crispy. Well, that tortilla is not going to change color, so how do you know when it's done? The cheese is going to tell you. So whenever the cheese starts to get kind of bubbly, that's why you want to keep an eye on it so that it doesn't burn. I set mine, it said 5 to 7 minutes. I only put it in for 5 just because I really don't want it to burn. And I only have 1 tortilla in there. Hopefully you guys, everyone's making this pizza and you'll have like more than 1 in the oven at a time. There's so many different ways that you can make pizza without having to fully commit to making a pizza. Another way that I like to do it is like a bagel or an English muffin. So again, it's an English muffin or a bagel, any kind of sauce, any kind of cheese, any kind of toppings. So easy. Pizza nachos. It's literally whatever you guys have laying around your kitchen. So this has 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to check on it again. Oh yeah, we're getting there. Those mini pepperonis were such a good find. They were over, I don't know if your Jewel has this, but my Jewel has, it's almost like a little pizza making station. They had sauce, they had pizza crust, like just kind of in a bag. Pizza crust, pizza sauce, and a different pepperoni, like so many different kind of pepperonis all together. I was like, that is so perfect. Then all you had to do was go find the cheese. But I was looking and I was like, oh my God, those mini pepperonis. So I had to get them. Use them on my mini tortilla pizza. So look for that in your Jewel. Mine was by the freezer section. It was like an end cap aisle, like an end cap by the freezer section. So keep an eye out on those end caps at Jewel, because mine had a little cute pizza making station. So super easy to find all my ingredients. I literally had a list and it was just all right there. All right, I'm going to check one more time, see how this is going, because Technically, we have 30 seconds, so I want to make sure. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Cheese is getting melty. I think I might let it stay in there for a few seconds longer, just so that I can ensure that it's going to be good. Yeah, I think maybe I'll do like an extra 30 seconds, just to make sure I got crispy crust. Another preference. I like my crust really crunchy. If you don't, then you're not going to leave it in the oven as long. We're really only using the oven to kind of like heat everything up. Where like if you're making muffins and it has an egg in it, then you're baking it so that you bake off the, anything that could be on the egg. So the difference between baking something to cook it or baking something to heat it. And right now we're just heating, we're not fully cooking. So you can kind of mess with the cook times. If you're making banana bread or something and it says leave it in for 30 minutes, leave it in for 30 minutes because that's how long it needs to cook off all of the, bad stuff that could be in there. All right, I'm going to take this out. My timer went off. Let's see how it turned out. Oh my God, it smells so good. Wow, that looks really good. Okay. I can feel it. It's gotten like crispy on the outside. So the way I think I'm going to eat this, kind of like a taco pizza. I don't know. Here, I kind of want to show you first. Look how delicious that looks. So good. All right. It does say to let it cool off for like 2 to 3 minutes. If you have patience, then good on you, but I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and try mine right now. Oh my gosh, it's falling apart a little bit. All right. Mini tortilla pizzas. Wow, it tastes like a real pizza. I would eat that any day. Such an easy snack. Make it however you want. Guys, if you make this recipe, take pictures and send them to me. I would love to see it. That's it for what's on the menu today. We will see you tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Nope. Today's Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to do some Zumba and a craft. And have a great rest of your day, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.